Hi guys, this is 604Starcraft. I'm here to do commentary on another game played in the new StarCraft 2 beta. This game here was sent to me by my Korean friend Husky, so I do expect it to be a good game. He hasn't disappointed yet. So let's just get this game going here. On the top right hand corner here, we do have spawning as a Protoss player JaeBeom. And on the right hand corner, as we saw earlier, it is my Korean friend Husky. Just to make another note here, this is not the Husky, but instead it's my Korean friend Husky. Okay, and their opponents for this matchup here will be the Zerg player Jwinn, and his ally here will be a Protoss player Marvel. So we have another mirror matchup here. It will be Protoss and Zerg versus Protoss and Zerg. And I don't know if I've mentioned it earlier, but this game did take place post patch 11, so we should see more standard play amongst these players here, as the game has been out for a while now after patch 11. So we'll see how everything here goes. Likewise, the roaches were nerfed here, so they do cost 2 food, so we'll see how both Jwinn and Husky will deal with that. I think Husky here is going for the extractor trick with the drone. So I think both players here, both Protoss players, do have their first pylon down. Like I mentioned earlier, both fairly standard play, I'd say. For Jwinn here, I think he's at 13. He's probably going for maybe a 14 pool. A 14 pool into maybe a 15 hatch. And we'll see how Husky does. He's on 14, probably saving up now. But we'll see how it goes. Both players are fairly playing fairly similar, I would say. Jwinn here is definitely probably going to go for a 13 pool, and we see this drone here is probably going to go down, and he does get the spawning pool down on 13, and whereas Husky went for a 14 pool. So a bit more of an economical build for Husky. We'll see how that plays off later. In regards to our Protoss players, both Marvel and JaeBeom both have their gateways out. No early scouts yet that I've seen so far. Marvel here does have his gas down, and so does JaeBeom as well. So like I mentioned, fairly standard from both players. They're both playing fairly similar. We'll see how this affects in the later game. Husky here is going for the 14 pool into a 15 hatch. This drone's probably going to come down, drop down a hatchery. And for Jwinn here, I think he's just right now, I think he's just actually just building a ton of drones. He hasn't actually, and he is going to go for an expo here at 16. So he's dropping a 16 hatch here. So he went for 13 pool, 16 hatch, and we have a 14 pool and 15 hatch from Husky. So we'll see how both players play out here. Husky is getting his gas now. Jwinn here still hasn't gotten his gas yet. I think he probably is saving mineral here for a queen. I would say that'd probably be the best build for him at this point. And he does have a queen out, and let's see if Husky has his queen out as well. So both Zerg players are getting their queens about the same time. Husky's a little bit ahead here. And look at our Protoss players. JaeBeom is collecting gas. I think he has 2 here. He has 2 probes on this gas here. Probably should put another one in there if he is going to use the gas, but he probably doesn't need it. In the early game, I think a lot of players do only put maybe 2 harvesters on the gas, just because you don't really need the gas as early on. Jwinn here is stealing JaeBeom's gas here, so that he will gain vision of this area for just the next little bit here. If we just kind of see the vision tab here, you can see that Jwinn here, kind of the view here for the extractor is a bit smaller, but nonetheless he will be able to cancel this, kind of run his drone around and just get a better view of it. Let's see if he does cancel. He does cancel it right before, but the Zealot here does take down the drone here, so that will stop further any potential further scouting from Jwinn. So both players here, I can see JaeBeom here is chrono boosting his warp gate technology, and for Marvel he is doing exactly the same, chrono boosting his cybernetics core as well. But he's actually on, let's just see here, only on 1 gateway, as well as the same as for JaeBeom. But JaeBeom does have a 2nd gateway down as well. I think Marvel is probably going to get a 2nd gateway down as well, and he does. So both players playing fairly similar. Our Zerg players are playing similar as well. Husky is actually able to get his expansion saturated or on its way a bit earlier. Jwinn here is still a bit behind. I think his APM is probably a bit behind as well. Actually, it's a bit higher than everyone else's. We have him at 65. All the other players are around 40. So I'm assuming he's probably just kind of taking his time microing up his drones or whatnot. I'm not too sure what he's doing. He should definitely move some of his drones from this probably well saturated mineral line down to his expansion. Both players here, I think, let's just take a quick look at the unit tab. Right now there aren't too many units on the field. I think Marvel here does have a Zealot and 2 Stalkers, and he has another Sentry on the way, whereas JaeBeom has 3 Zealots and a Sentry, but he is getting up 4 gates now. The Warp Gate technology did finish. And let's just see how everything's going for Marvel here. His Warp Gate technology did finish as well. So both players are getting around the same, pretty much the same build. Everything is working out around the same. But Marvel here did go for 3 gate into a robotics facility here. I'm not too sure if JaeBeom here. Let's take a look at the production tab here. JaeBeom has not gotten down a robotics facility. Instead, he has got down a forge instead, so he's probably looking to do upgrades. So we're going to see 4 gates, a 4-gate Protoss versus a 3-gate and Robo. So we'll see how that build plays out here. Jwinn here is sending out Zerglings probably to secure the watchtowers, get kind of vision around the center map, which is great. Husky here is moving his Overlord to kind of maybe scout, maybe do a Nidus of some sort, so we'll see how that goes. We can see Husky has upgraded Zergling melee attack, so I'm thinking he's probably expecting to maybe go heavy Zergling army. I'm not too sure. Most players do upgrade the missile attacks just because they do cover your roaches, or the upgrade does apply to your roaches and to your Hydralisk. We'll see how that goes. Husky here did go for after the spawning pool directly into a Hydralisk den, and we'll see here whereas his counterpart Jwinn here just has a spawning pool down, so he actually hasn't put down any other technology yet. And we can see that he does have a Roach Warren coming, so it will be roaches and Zerglings versus Hydralisk and Zerglings. So we'll see how that matchup goes. I think at this point Marvel does have a fairly large unit. If we just take a quick look at the army count tab, we can see that actually JaeBeom is actually ahead. He has a bit supply block at the moment, but his armies, he's 66, and Husky here is at 59. So both the Husky and JaeBeom are much further ahead compared to their opponents. And we can see Husky here is upgrading the Hydralisk range, which is essential for Hydralisk just because the range does make them a lot more effective. He does have his first Overseer as well, and he's able to spot this Scouting Observer. I think he actually may be able to take this down. Let's just see. Yep, and he does. So great work by Husky there, getting the Overseer to take down that early scout. Observers are actually very expensive at 50 mineral and 100 gas. So that's very costly. Now Marvel's stuck making another observer. We'll see how that plays out. Fairly big army here by Marvel. He has a pretty diverse unit composition with Zealots, Sentries, and Stalkers. And we'll take a quick look at JaeBeom's. It's actually about the same. JaeBeom's is a bit more, it appears a bit more Zealot heavy. We'll see that. Let's just see what kind of technologies if JaeBeom has upgraded. So JaeBeom actually he's getting down his Twilight Council. Twilight Council isn't down yet, so we'll see how that goes. For Marvel here, he is actually getting his blink, so he will have his blink earlier than JaeBeom, and he is putting down a Templar Archive, so I'm assuming he's going to go for high Templars. Maybe we're going to see some storm action here. We will